what's a lie you told yourself about success?
That there's a finish line. That when I get to this point, that's all I need. In business and in life, momentum is the hardest thing to get, and it's the hardest thing to sustain. It's like pushing a boulder, right? It's pushing something heavy. You take a lot of energy to go.
No.
Let's assume it's a flat hill. No, if you stop, the boulder's gonna stop. And then you gotta refuel and put all that effort in again just to get it going.
If you could go back to the age 20 and you give yourself a 30-second warning, what would you say?
Well, there's two. Careful who you trust. Don't chase all the rabbits.
So the framework this guy was talking about was, okay, if you don't know the meaning of your life, why don't you go kill yourself?
But I think meaning in life is an inward, soulful journey. Like, you won't find meaning in anybody else. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the N2N podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. N2N, also known as Ninja or Prolific Ninja by my family and friends and on my socials. And because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the N2N podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning, the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. We're going to jump right to it. Normally, I give this huge monologue about the show and what I do and thankfulness and all this stuff. The only thing I'm going to say is we work on this podcast for free for you. In other words, I put up my own money, my own time. I have a whole team here putting this together for you for free. So we do this on a karmic exchange, which means I'm giving you value for free. You've either got to repay me that value, right? Or you owe me, or you can restore the balance. And we do that by sharing the show. So I like to say, if you're knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. So we do a lot of types of shows. Typically, most predominantly, it's a monologue of me doing like 5, 10, 15 minutes of some topic on self-improvement or success. Sometimes we have a guest on board, which we're trying to bring on more guests. It's been a scheduling issue, but we have a lot of guests in store for you. And then the third part, or the third type of episode we do, is called Prolific POV, point of view, or Q&A, which is question and answers, where we get questions from the world and we try to answer them, or we talk about real world events on POV. And usually I have that done with my producer and co-host for now. Gracing us with his presence is Arib Mirza with Focus, Fokus.vid. They've been with me since the very, very beginning. I mean, this guy used to just walk around with a backpack, following me around to shoot short form content. This was like over 3.5 years ago. Then we did rented studios to start the podcast, and now he has his own studio where we record our episodes. And so, Arib,
how's it going?
Glad to have you here, man. This is a long-ass table now.
Absolutely.
So Arib's been with me from day one, growing this podcast episode to now hundreds of thousands of visitors, followers, millions of views. And here we are. What do we have in store for us today, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. Winter time, are we ready to go or what?
Yeah, always ready.
Okay, man, let's go. What do we got?
Even for the winter time, like I was talking to somebody from Canada yesterday. I was like, it's jacket season here in Houston.
Yeah.
And then I told him the temperature. I was like, it's 70 degrees. And he was just laughing at me.
Yeah, I hear it's snowing in certain parts of the world too,
he was
already.
He was like 70 degrees. That's tank top and short season. What are you on about?
I like it cold, man. Yeah, actually, I did take my first few cold plunges in my pool this week, which I really thoroughly enjoy.
How long do you sit?
About a minute or two, just to get going.
That's good.
I mean, just enough to be like, And then
I tried it once for 27 seconds.
I mean, if you really want to test mental endurance and mental fortitude, do yourself a cold plunge.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, but it's like It's like anything else, right? Anything hard, like you start to do. It's like the initial, like that. Oh, fuck, this is cold, and then you get used to it, and that's just like anything else, challenging. So I think it's like a mini microcosm of how you actually progress in the world. Like, meaning you got to do hard shit. Like, it's really, really hard out the gate, and then it gets easy.
Yeah. One thing that helped me with a cold plunge was, like, don't test the water or anything. Just, like...
No, you just go.
Just go.
Just go. There's no hesitancy, and that's the problem. A lot of people, that brief moment of hesitation is when the doubt or the questions come in. So if you don't even give yourself that opportunity to hesitate, you just go, then there's no hesitancy. There's no room.
No.
There's no room to back out. You just go. Just go. Like, you just got to go.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the questions I have It's an interesting one. It might take you a couple seconds to think. Is if you could go back to the age 20 or whatever age you were when you first started your law firm or started any business, and you give yourself a 30-second warning, what would you say?
Oh, that's a good question. Is this POV or Q&A, man? I mean, we're doing a little bit of both. I don't know.
This is a Q&A.
A Q&A episode. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, going back to whenever I started, if I give myself what? What's the question?
If you give yourself a warning, a 30-second warning, like what would you say to yourself?
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah. So let's say you time machine, go
Yeah.
back,
Yeah,
and you have to
good.
give yourself a 30-second warning, like, hey, Jan.
It's kind of counterintuitive to who I am, though, which
Yeah.
would be, well, there's two. Careful who you trust,
Yeah.
okay? And don't chase all the rabbits, okay? So the careful who you trust, you're starting out, right? You don't know if you're going to be successful. You feel some pressure. You may or may not have a lot of money. At that time, I didn't have a lot of money. And so you kind of give everybody the benefit of the doubt because you never know where it might lead,
Yeah.
right? And so I call it kissing frogs. You have to kiss a lot of frogs on the way up. People that'll burn you, stab you in the back, two-sided people, so you come out with a naive approach to business and you trust everybody, thinking they are good-willed and right intentions.
Yeah.
But that's not the reality. And so it just depends also, if you grew up in the streets with some street smarts, you kind of pick up on this a little bit easier, like distrust. But I'm a good-hearted natured guy, right? So I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and people took advantage of that. So for one, it's be careful who you trust. And then secondly is don't chase all the rabbits, because at the very, very beginning, again, you're trying to chase opportunity because you don't know where the wind is going to come from.
Yeah.
Right? But then you dilute out your energy, number one. Number two, you have limited resources at the start. Right? So you got to be very, very, very selective of where you spend the resources and your time and energy.
Yeah. Would you give yourself specific names? Like as soon as you go to your younger self, 20 years, like, hey, this person, don't do this, do this, don't.
What do you mean? Like in retrospect?
Yeah.
Like don't trust this, don't.
Yeah.
That's a good question, man, because it's like changing the past. Can't do nothing about it, so I probably wouldn't. Like everything that happened to me led me to where I am now.
Correct.
And I'm not bitching or complaining about where I am now. So although I was burned in the past, that's lessons in life. Like I would not have progressed to where I am now had I not learned the lessons of this whoever fucked me over, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's a good answer. I mean,
so it's a past. I'm not going to change anything about the past.
I thought you were gonna say something like just invest in crypto or something.
Well, no, I mean, again, no. I mean, were there decisions I could have made in the past that would have led me to a better potential future? Probably, but I am where I am now. I can't change anything in the past.
Exactly.
Right. So I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so the next one is related to marriage.
Oh shit, here we go. I'm not an expert. Go ahead.
Yeah. Should you get married while focusing on starting a business?
That's a loaded question, okay?
Yeah.
Because you have to depend how old, like what age are you?
Well, let's say under 25.
Under 25. Okay, so again, this is not formal marriage counseling advice. I've been divorced, so I'm not an expert. Although maybe that makes me an expert.
Yeah.
Not what to do.
Yeah.
Qualify as an expert, having gone through. Like you can't talk about divorce. You can't talk about shit unless you've been through it.
Yeah.
Right? Can't talk about divorce. Okay. Marriage advice unless you've been through divorce. My short answer is no, you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because starting out a business and winning is an all-in, all-the-time thing.
Yeah.
It's like now, I go to conferences or events, or I go out of town or have meetings, and the outside looking in might be, oh, you're having so much fun, going out for drinks with these guys and talking and blah blah blah. The reality is you're always on. So it's not having fun. It may look like you're having fun superficially, but deep down, you're always on because you're establishing relationships or a foundation for which you might be able to do business on. So if you're very business oriented, understand you're going to be always on.
Yeah.
And there are people that don't understand that, and they cut loose and get into fights and arguments, and when they're drunk and shit, and then people don't do business with people like that, right? So you're constantly on, or you get out of control, you get loud, you get obnoxious, you tell stupid jokes, you offend people. Like, they don't understand that you're always on. Like, people are always like, man, can I trust this guy? Does he give me good vibes? Does he party right? Does he have, what I call mouth diarrhea, where something you tell them in confidence, but then they diarrhea mouth when they're drunk because they don't have that filter, and they start blabbing shit that they shouldn't be blabbing. So you understanding how people actually are. But going back to your question about marriage, that's what it means. It's all in all the time. So it's hard to divert energy to your relationship or to your spouse while you're having to go all in on your business.
Yeah. What do you think about girlfriend? Would you keep a distinction, or?
I mean, it's different levels, right? Girlfriend is, you
can leave.
And once you're married, you're locked in, bro. Like, there's no like, dude, I'm gonna, see you later.
Yeah.
There's no like, this ain't working for me. I'm out. I mean, there is, but then there's legal consequence, right? So marriage is a different level. Marriage is like, you can't.
Like, you're locked in.
Like, if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna go home and sleep in my house. Well,
tomorrow.
You're married. Yeah, you're married. You're in the same house. It's not like, so it's a deeper situation when you're married. So,
Also, I guess it depends on the partner too. Like, if they're willing
and that's
to,
how my next point. It also depends on the partner. If your partner is used to a 9 to 5, I expect you home. Don't work on the business. We got, the garage to clean up. Yeah. That ain't happening. You're not, because while you're cleaning the garage, your competitor's working on the business.
IKEA Sundays.
Yeah, on Kia Sundays and bullshit like that. No, you can't. There's no time for that. Because, again, it's a competitive thing. Business is competitive. I hate to say this, but it is. So when you're not working on the business, your competitors are. And so anything that takes your attention away from your business, a spouse, is giving your competition a distinct advantage. Well, what about love and all? Just eat a lot of chocolate, bro. You're going to feel, I mean, chemically it's the same, right? So if your spouse is understanding, and if your spouse is able to tolerate, babe, I know you want to go out tonight, but I got to work.
No.
Almost every night, then maybe it'll work. Babe, I know you want to go on vacation, but we ain't going on vacation this year. It might work, but oftentimes, you always work too much. You never spend time for me.
And also, I think
that kind of shit, and that can't work when you're starting out. Now, when you're catching any type of growth, so business is like this, right? You're gonna grow, and then you're gonna steady, and then you're gonna hit another growth. In that steady phase, right? It may work. Relationships are easy. With your personal relationships are easy. When it's growth, very, very hard, because growth is transition, and transitions naturally is hard. And so, like now, like we're expanding significantly along all fronts, and so I'm spending a lot of time away, and it's, put a little bit of a strain. So you have to have a spouse that understands that.
Yeah.
Right? Sink or swim. This is, and the global picture is like, I'm putting in this effort, not for me, it's for us, the family. So yeah, they have to be very, very understanding, or else it's not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work.
And it's also just one of those things.
Like Elon Musk has, like, I don't know, he's divorced like 6-7 times. Yeah. But I'm saying, because he's all in all the time.
He has a full-time divorce lawyer hired.
Yeah, exactly. Well, probably, man, probably. But like, I don't know, 6-7 children with 3 or 4 wives. Like, yeah, because it takes a very unique person to understand the life of someone that's that driven and motivated to go to Mars.
Yeah. Also, would you say it's kind of like a risk to throw you off track for business? So let's say you're slowly picking up momentum, and you're trying to juggle both, but you're also at one point also delaying the inevitable, because you know that this person is going to leave because you're not giving them the attention. But in order to do that, you're also losing track on the business side of things. But if you do take care of the business side of things, this person will leave, and then you'll of course feel heartbroken, and then you just
and that's why the answer to the original question is no. Like, don't be married, because in business and in life, momentum is the hardest thing to manage, right? It's the hardest thing to get, and it's the hardest thing to sustain. It's like pushing a boulder, right? It's pushing something heavy. You take a lot of energy to go,
Yeah.
and once it's going, let's assume it's a flat hill, but business you're going uphill, right? Once you get it going, right? If you stop, the boulder's gonna stop, and then you got to refuel and put all that effort in again just to get it going. So it's like I don't know if I ever talked about this before. My daily hack is how to get momentum early and how to sustain that momentum throughout the day. Because I know once I stop and that momentum stops, it'll be like, man, okay, let me go take a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus like just keep going. What's next? Move. And that pushes the rock for the day.
Yeah.
Right? And then each day I travel a certain distance in my mind. I'm not like literally pushing a rock, but when I review my day, it's like, okay, I moved this far. Could I have moved further?
Yeah.
Right? Or I didn't move enough. Or damn, I really pushed far today. Like we moved a lot of distance. So in my mind, like we're doing this podcast and I'm talking to you and I'm being rational or whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, hey, what's next to keep the momentum going?
Correct.
Right? So I don't know. It's a unique way to look at things, but you got to train yourself to, be present, but think about the future, right? So to your point, relationships can throw off your momentum significantly.
Yeah. And even let's say like someone who's listening to this, they've gone through this. They're kind of like facing the bad side of this. I think also a good framework, maybe it's a skill to have, is just accepting that as a reality and how fast can you pick yourself back up again. So let's say a bad thing happens. Let's say you're like slowly on the incline, and then as soon as something bad happens, you're down. Like, do you just plateau and keep going down for how long? And if you can just catch yourself at that point as soon as you go down, and then be like, okay, this is a reality. I need to get myself back up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
already happened.
yeah. So I'll compare this to and this is not formal like weight training advice, right? But let's say you're doing a bench press.
Yeah.
And bench press, for those of you who don't work out, which you need to be working out if you listen to this podcast, is you're laying on a flat bench, you unrack the barbell, and you drop it to your chest and you lift it back up.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's assume you lower the weight to your chest and you stop. To drive that weight back up takes a lot amount of energy.
Yeah.
Or if you drop it down and there's a pause and then you just push it straight back up, there's like a rebounding effect. That's how I would look at momentum. If it drops, you got to figure out a way to bounce quicker. It's bad form to do like that, but whatever can rebound you quick is what I'm looking for. So if I know something's negative, it's like, okay, what can I shift my focus to immediately to regain momentum?
Yeah.
As hard as it might be. Okay. So the other thing is that, and I know this happens a lot, is you want to avoid if you're going into an endeavor and you get married or whatever, you want to avoid the person who acquiesces to what you need to do but makes you feel guilty about it. Because while they might not prevent you from executing on that action, it's emotionally draining. Because now you feel compelled that you're doing the things on behalf of the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're grinding late at night, you're taking meetings all over the place, you're just go. So mentally and physically you're there, but if the person is like, yeah, you go, but we had this planned instead, and that puts you on a guilt trip. So then it gets you closer to closer, like, what the fuck am I doing this for? You see what I'm saying? So you want to avoid that person that's going to guilt you, even though they're agreeing. It's kind of almost bipolar-ish, passive-aggressive, right? Go ahead and go, but I'll stay home by myself. Those kind of snarky comments, right?
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, what the fuck?
Those are annoying.
Yeah, really annoying. Versus like, dude, go kill it. Go close the deal.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? It looks, I know you're going to have some fun, but I know why you're doing this. That's supportive, right? That's uplifting, and it helps build momentum. So it goes back to momentum. If you have a partner that can help you build momentum instead of slowing you down, taking momentum away, whatever it is, by all means, go for it. Those are very unique unicorns. I think there's that unicorn chart. You know what I'm saying? That's a unique scenario, very unique person to be able to say, get after it all the time.
Yeah, what he's also trying to say is don't date a Latina.
Nothing. No. No, don't say that. Don't say that. That's an inside joke, but don't say that.
All right.
I'm not saying that. Date whoever you want to.
All right, so the next one.
Did I answer the question? I don't know.
No, you did.
So the short answer is don't get married if you're
Yeah.
starting a business.
Yeah. All right, next question. What's one lie people tell themselves? What?
What?
What's one lie people tell themselves about success? What's a lie you told yourself about success?
Man, that's good. Where are these questions coming from, bro? These are good questions.
Yeah.
What is one lie people believe?
Yeah, what's one lie people tell
let's
themselves
start
about
with that one.
success? Yeah.
What is one lie that there's a finish line?
Yeah.
That when I get to this point, that's all I need. Because it's not what? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a measuring stick. It's like when I buy that Lambo, I'm good. When I buy that mansion, I'm good. When I make $5 million, I'm good. Because people who are driven like that, you're actually learning new skills along the way, right? And it's really not about the destination. At some point, you're going to understand this. It really is the constant challenge of yourself. Because as you get to a certain level of success, you've learned new skills. And so you cease to be challenged by the old stuff. The old stuff gets easy to do. And you're learning new skills. So you're like, man, I made it to whatever, $1 million. Well, what is it like to make it to 5?
Correct.
With these new skills that I have, right? And so really success is not an end point. And that's the whole point of this podcast, living to your fullest controllable potential, right? Because if you have more skill, then you have more potential, right? And do you really want to throttle that and push to that potential?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, is as you get to that next $5 million potential, you've reached it, you've learned more skill and more approach and more framework and more networks and more. And so then you're like, well, damn, I have more potential. And so there is no finish line for success. It's living to your fullest controllable potential.
Yeah. Do you think that's a good reason to get into business though? Like for Lambos and of course just a lifestyle.
I think initially, there's a greed aspect. Everybody's a little bit greedy. And if you're not greedy, you're lying to yourself. There's an element of greed. There's an element of, man, this guy has one. Why can't I? Right.
Yeah.
And so initially, yes, all the nice things about life, about having a little bit of resources and money is great. You bought a Porsche, right? Like it was a motivator. Because I remember 2-3 years ago, you're like, this year I'm going to buy a Porsche. And then you go out and you get motivated to go buy a Porsche. Great. Yeah. But now that you have it, it's like, oh, I got the Porsche. Now what? It's a car. It gets me to A to B, just like any other car goes me A to B.
Yeah, I've very fast figured out Houston roads.
Yeah, Houston roads, the ones to avoid, the potholes and all that shit. Yeah. So as the owner of several supercars, it's not the motivator. Yeah. It's a motivator at the beginning because it's not everybody dreams of that, right? Not everybody. Anybody who's in business or with money is like dreams of the nice things about life. But then you start to understand that that Notorious B.I.G. was right. More money, more problems. It's just different kind of problems. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's not about the money or the toys. It becomes about how it becomes about, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of my conversations with strangers and people I meet that are at a certain level of success, there's a lot of conversation about true purpose. And so then it becomes, okay, what is the actual purpose? Because it's not about the fun stuff.
The purpose of life or business?
Purpose of life.
Okay.
It's getting into that level of conversation. It's like, dude, I have everything I want, but like I feel still a little like there's more, or I'm empty, or I'm trying to unlock something that I don't even know what's out there, but I don't feel fulfilled. Yeah. People think success means fulfillment. They're totally different things.
Yeah.
Totally different things.
I heard one framework of life, which was pretty interesting to me. So it was like, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life?
Well, that's the thing.
So the framework this guy was talking about was, okay, if you don't know the meaning of your life, why don't you go kill yourself? And then after that, he was like, no, well, I can't do that because I have my kids, I have my mom. I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, like, okay, that's your meaning of your life.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are anchors around why you shouldn't kill yourself, right? Responsibility for others. But I think meaning in life is a inward, soulful journey.
Yeah.
Like, you won't find meaning in anybody else. Like your family, your kids, you're not going to find your meaning in life. They are
Yeah. Well, the answer could depend. So let's say you say, like, I have my business, I have this, I have that.
They
then,
rely on you, but that's not your purpose. Reliance and purpose are still not the same thing. Obligation and purpose is not the same thing. Fulfillment on a deep level is an inward journey. I think I had a podcast episode, is that the purpose of life is not to discover what's outside, it's actually to discover what's inside.
Interesting.
And so that journey is a solo journey. There ain't nobody, your wife, your dad, your mom, your brother, your sister, your kids ain't going to tell you how to look inward. That's you, right? And I think that's the challenge that most people at a certain level are having, is I got the mansion, I got the lake house, I got the Ferrari, I got the boat, I got all these things, yet I'm unfulfilled. Because that journey of buying all these things was an outward journey. Like true fulfillment, and that's the problem, is that society is structured to where you're just surviving. So you're just making whatever money you are to pay bills and get to the next day, put food on the table.
Correct.
So you never have the time to look inward, right? But now, at certain levels, everybody's got resources, time, money. Like if I wanted to take today off work, I could. I've structured systems in place to help me make money while I'm not having to make money, right? So now I have time, and then starts the inward journey. And that's where people, I think, have this fallacy, going back to your question, that success means fulfillment. Success does not mean fulfillment.
Yeah.
Fulfillment means fulfillment. Fulfill, right? Listen, to fulfill. Fill means you got to fill something up. So to fill something up, you got to pour something in, right? So to feel fulfilled, you got to pour into yourself. Yeah. To find out what that means for you.
Yeah, and I think that's why also.
Right. So that's pretty good. I just thought of that.
That was good.
Yeah. So the point is that I think the lie is that people think success equates to a finish line or some tangible thing, and it does not.
Yeah.
It does not.
Yeah. I think that's why also a lot of athletes after their careers, kind of go off track, because I think they lose their reason. I don't know, they were already fulfilled, perhaps.
Well, it's financial education and all these other things, but probably because as an athlete, right?
Yeah.
You've grown up in a world of external confirmation. Hey, you're the best player, you're the best this, you made it, you did it. You're looking for external validation. Your worth is based on what your production is directly.
Yeah.
Right? If you suck, you get waived. If you're really good, you get the max contract.
Correct.
So it's based on, and that's based on stats, numbers, production, which business should be. But true personal worth and value is not based on numbers. It's based on something that's unique to you, to me, whatever. And so that's why the mission statement of all the companies my law firm, the companies I own, the ones I invest in, my focus and approach is, does this actually change people's lives? Right? Because at the end of my day, whenever that is 200 years from now, I'm going to be able to say, man, the work I put in changed tens of thousands of lives. That was a good life.
I like that.
Right? It's not, I bought 50 Bugattis. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But, man, the talents I've been given, the potential I had, I maxed out. I was able to change X thousands people's lives.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's fulfilling, right? Yeah. It feels good. You're fulfilled.
No one's going to say Jan's had 50 Bugattis.
Yeah, nobody's going to say, dude, this dude had 50 Bugattis. What a badass. Like, well, no. Right? Like,
when I'm like a legend.
I don't know, dude. blew all of his stack of cash on 50 Bugattis. What a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, no. It's but here's the great part is with the mission statement of changing people's lives, that means you're adding value somewhere.
Yeah.
People will pay for that. So you're going to make the money anyways. But it's not the money that's defining you. It's the lives you change that's for me, is defining me. That's like right now in our PFAS campaign, we have almost 3,000 clients we're helping with cancer.
Wow.
Like, how crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Right? Right. And so if we're able to get across the finish line and give these people checks to pay for their chemo or their surgery or whatever, that's impactful.
That's big.
That's big, really big. And so, but we're going to get paid if we're able to do that too. We're going to get paid handsomely if we're able to get 3,000 people checks for the cancer that they have. Right? And so it's kind of in tow. One does the other, but is making, I don't know, whatever, $10 million as fulfilling as saying, dude, we helped 3,000 people with cancer. And oh, by the way, we made $10 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's a subtle difference.
I like that.
Right.
Perfect. We got one last question.
And by the way, to the second part of that question was, you know, and what is the lie you told yourself? That same very lie. Like, I'll be happy when I have the supercar, the McLaren. I was ecstatic, yes. But you understand, it's just it's not just an object to me, but it is an object. Yeah, right.
I remember you got that.
Yeah.
And then of course you just went on a shopping spree. All right. So should life be optimized by get more by doing less, or be maximized by doing more and squeeze every bit of what you can get?
It's the second part.
Second part.
Okay, because the first one is, what was the first?
And get more by doing less.
Get more by doing less. Okay.
I think that happens at a certain level, but
No. Get more by doing less. That inherently is what do you call it when two words cancel each other out? Like it's a contradiction. Get more by doing less, right?
also like what's more. And that's why I said at a higher level. For example, if the goal is getting more cash.
No, it's not that.
Yeah.
Because it goes counterintuitive. You must do hard things to get more. It's a must. It's like the 11th commandment. You must do hard things to get more. Because that statement means I'm looking for comfort.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm trying to get more by doing less. That means my goal is actually comfort. Yeah. And comfort kills. There's no progress in comfort. Because you're not doing shit. Comfort is like, I'm just going to lay here all day.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything. Hey, I'm going to work to retire on the beach and be comfortable. Well, that lasts for like a day or two, maybe a week, maybe a month. And then you lose your purpose. You're not fulfilled. You get angry. And, people end up having heart attacks or suicide or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to do more with less. It doesn't happen that way. It's get more by doing more. And so I think the first phrase is doesn't exist. It can't exist.
Yeah.
It can't exist because natural law won't allow for that.
Yeah.
You must have positive to have negative. Everything balances out at the end. So how can you have more with less? It's off balance.
Yeah.
And so you might get more with less, but over time, I believe the universe will rebalance and you'll get fucked.
Yeah.
Because you didn't pay your dues to get what you got.
Yeah, I think it's also one of those things where people looking to get into business are trying to look at like passive income versus active income. So I think the question could be as well, like get more by doing less. Like how do I get passive income? Well, you can't have passive income without like having active.
No, you have to be active. Even if you have the theoretical passive income is own 20 rental properties and you're going to collect rent checks every month.
Yeah.
Passively.
But
managing 20 properties is a lot. Property taxes, HOA, pipes bust, your tenants, punch holes in the walls. They don't pay the rent. You got to evict them. Like people get sold on this passive income. There is no passive income. Everything is active. You must put energy into the system to get energy out.
Yeah.
And money and business is just an energy transfer. Money is symbolic of energy transfer. So to get passive income, it doesn't exist, right? Even if you get you invest and you get bonds and shit, right? You get like a note, like you invest in like preferred equity, which means you buy stock in a company and they pay you a dividend. There's still action in that, right? Like at a certain level, like as an angel investor, you're on top of the management team because your money's at stake, right? So it's an active, hey, how do we push product? What's the strategy here? What's the plan? How do I make money on top? How do I de-risk my investment? How do I do all? It's active.
Correct.
It may look passive where I'm just sitting at my desk thinking about, okay, how do I do these? But you got to, that's still energy and active. There's no such thing as, well, I'm just going to sleep in all day and get a check out of the mailbox.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't happen.
No. And even to get to that point is a lot of work.
For it to matter.
To even, for it to matter. So I don't think it's just, it's an antithesis. It's a contradiction. You can't get more by doing less. No. You can't. And so what was the second part, the second phrase?
Is doing more and squeeze every bit out of what you can get.
Doing more and squeezing every bit. That's how my approach.
Yeah.
Do more and just squeeze it for what it is. And sometimes, you squeeze out the fruit and there's no juice left. Okay, time to move on to the next. Like you're squeezing and that's why there's an expression called the juice is not worth the squeeze. Because you might look at an investment opportunity and you're like, man, that's going to take too much work for not enough return for that work. So, or did you squeeze all the juice? Did you squeeze out all the juice? And I'm an investor in a tequila company now, right? So it's like, did we get the right juice, right? And that's a real literal expression in tequila, but it's like, you want to do more and squeeze it for all that you can, right? That's, again, living to your fullest controllable potential. What is the potential in X, and can we live to the fullest out of that potential, right? And that's the only way it works. You got to put energy in the system to get money or energy out of the system. There's no, that
input and output.
No. I mean, and here's the other thing: is it people that make money quick and easy and fast, inevitably, and this is almost 10 for 10, 100 out of 100. Something negative happens where they crash and burn quick.
Yeah. They don't know how to manage it.
Well, the other thing is that you think it came too easy.
Yeah.
And so you don't nurture it. You don't nurture what you got. Money is easy to make. Trust me, it's easy to make, very hard to hold on to.
Correct.
Very hard to sustain. Very, very hard. Like, we're blessed in business and all that, but if I was like, yeah, I'm good now and just took every day off, how fast would all of this crumble?
Very
Quick,
fast.
like that. Money's easy to make, very, very hard to sustain and maintain, much less grow.
Yeah.
Right? Because to grow, you got to invest more into the system to get more out. So now instead of putting money in your pockets, you're like, okay, you're just throwing money at shit, trying to grow, and it may or may not happen.
Correct.
Most companies collapse during growth, actually, than when everything is good. When you try to grow, you're taking risks. You're
growing
putting more
is painful.
And
growing is
painful.
Is very painful.
And there's never a sure thing it's going to work.
Yeah.
And so, like, now we're expanding Austin, Dallas. Like, we're putting significant resources.
Yeah.
Is it going to work? I don't know, but we've learned what we learned, and we're trying to apply it to other markets. And so, yeah, man, you gotta put money in the system to pull money out.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like that. All right. So the short answer is, of course, the second one, like doing more.
Yeah. The short answer is fuck comfort. You got to go squeeze every bit of ounce of opportunity out of every opportunity.
Correct. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Q&A. That was quick, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I will go and say that we close out every episode as I close it every day, which is when I put my head down on the pillow before I go to sleep. I in the universe for another day, another opportunity to hopefully have lived to my fullest controllable potential and inspired at least just one person to live to theirs. I think these questions from Arib inspired you today. I know for a fact. And so don't owe me a karmic debt. Please do share the show. If your knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. That is the only way we grow. As we lead into the holiday season, just as the last episode, we don't slow down. We actually pick up pace and momentum into the next new year. So with that, be great today, but be even more grateful. Arib, where can people find you?
You can find me on my Instagram. It's iArib Mirza.
Mirza.
Correct.
And fokus.vid. The guy spits out a lot of content around how to grow your business using video, social, podcasts, all these things. So if you want to learn more about that, follow Arib and his people. And with that, look forward to bringing another episode very, very soon, man. I appreciate you very much.
100%.
Glad to be doing this one with you.
Amazing. Yeah.
Let's go.